Hey everyone, here with Kevin Hardin of Thomson Law in Phoenix, Arizona. And Thomson Law does a lot of real estate law. So I want to sit down with Kevin and get an expert's opinion on what is really the difference. I hear a lot there's not much of a difference between a short sale and foreclosure. Kevin, could you tell us what you think are some of the big differences, how short sales and foreclosures may affect somebody?
Well, a foreclosure is a foreclosure. Number one, if you have a foreclosure versus a short sale, it will be longer before you qualify to become a homeowner again. If you're going to foreclosure, means that that home at some point is going to be empty. And typically a homeowner is going to move out before that knock on the door comes to move out. And that means that the world's going to be publicly noticed that the home's in foreclosure, creating that home becoming a target. Short sale is a good faith effort to work with your lender to resolve the debt obligation. Sure, for the typical homeowner might have a single purchase money mortgage. It might be less of a challenge, but for those that have seconds, which is 60% of our homeowners here in Maricopa County have a second mortgage on a home that's in negative equity, which is why we're having this conversation. We've all seen the results of those foreclosures. Those clients are coming into us daily. Even if the lender would not win in court for a deficiency, they're still suing for a deficiency. So again, short sales just bring to the table a much better resolution in a short sale than a foreclosure.
What are you seeing as far as people who go through short sales as far as purchasing a house again, timeframes?
Well, there's a population of our clients who haven't gone late on their payments yet, that are working with their mortgage person and have gotten approved for a new home to buy, obviously a downgrade or however you want to put it, but they're downsizing. And they've been able to get approved for the new loan contingent upon the closing and short sale of their existing home. Not a buy and bail, but literally, hey, I'm going to have to short sell this home because I cannot afford it for one that I can afford. And under those programs, they're able to actually close today. For those that haven't, they obviously they were late on their payments or put into a position to be late on their payment for the short sale. Some of those clients from the summer of '08 that we worked with have already bought their homes again. If you do a foreclosure, and there hasn't been any mortgage professionals tell us otherwise, it's going to be a minimum of 3 years, probably 5 years, just because of credit policy. You have a foreclosure in your record, you don't get a new mortgage, regardless of your credit score, for at least 5 years. And for some families, that's a big difference, since they're striving to become a homeowner.
So one of the big differences between short sale and foreclosure is the amount of time to purchase your next house.
Correct.
Are there any other things that you would recommend people to take into consideration?
Well, I think they need to take into consideration their obligations and liabilities. One of those is HOA issues. Too many homeowners that decide to let their home go to foreclosure, other things happen. They stop taking care of the home, the HOAs begin to fine them for landscaping and other issues, and that stuff follows them personally. Whereas the short sale brings an opportunity to resolve the issue. Maybe they can't afford to pay the arrearage on HOA, but between them, the buyer, seller, and the lender, that can be worked out. Some of these items could just be wrapped up very nicely in a short sale. Again, it has to be managed. And again, as a professional real estate agent, you understand that when you're taking on those listings, you need to inform the client of all of these pitfalls that are going to happen and how to prepare for them. But clients that come to us that have gone through foreclosure, they all look back and say, I wish I'd just done a short sale. At least gone through the process. Sure, there's lots of reasons why short sale can fail, but all the good reasons is why you should do a short sale.
And you mentioned, even if there's not deficiency rights, banks are sometimes coming back after them trying to get deficiencies. And a short sale, does that give you an opportunity to make sure it's put in writing that they won't do that?
Not only is it an opportunity to do it in writing, it's a non-litigation experience. In other words, I would encourage every client to make sure that short sale approval is reviewed by legal counsel. But at the end of the day, you're not going to court to fight it out. Time and time again, we're getting way too many clients coming in that have allowed their home to go to foreclosure. 60% of our homeowners with seconds means that we have a lot of folks getting pursued by their lender. That's going to cost a minimum of $10,000 to fight. And a short sale costs you nothing. to work with that lender to say, look, I'm going to do a short sale. In good faith, I'm working with you. Secure a better price for the lender. And they will release them from those deficiencies, including clients that frankly might have $100,000 second HELOCs that they use to go do whatever, from doing repairs on that home to buying other homes to paying off credit cards. The lenders are in a short sale resolving those for pennies on the dollar. Straight up settlement or letting it go to foreclosure, they ask for the full balance. So yes, short sale is a very inexpensive, good faith effort to work those out.
And with your clients who come in and talk to you about the options, you give them consultations and help them make the right decisions. What percentage do you think you advise short sales better than foreclosure?
Maybe 1% of the time do we tell someone to let their home go to foreclosure. 99% of the time we tell them to go to short sale. Why? As I told you before, it is just a much better route overall. There are very few clients walk through a door and says, you know what, I really don't want to ever own a home again. That's not true. They're here because they're fighting because they're losing the home. They cherish that. Yeah, it may be a little more. Maybe the incidental cost of home ownership does make it a little more expensive than rental in some ways, but it's their piece of this America that they want to keep and they want to be able to do it again. So when they sit down with us, our first step is to determine what is their deficiency risk. 100% of the time for those that walk in that have deficiency risk, a lot loan, construction loan, homes they never occupied, seconds, HELOCs that were not purchase money, we say, look, then let's go to short sale. Because short sale is going to give you an opportunity. You don't want to have to pay us 10 to 15 grand to fight it out in court. Too many people have had to do that. Let's get it resolved in the short sale. Now, let's take a client who says, well, he has no, per se, deficiency risk. Yes, if he walked away, they would not owe any more money, okay? Well, I'm still going to tell them to go to short sale. Why? Because the question we're going to ask, do you want to own another home again? 99 times out of 100, well, yeah. Do you want to wait 5 to 7 years before you get on a home again? Well, God, I don't want to have to rent again and move 2 or 3 times because, you get a 1 year, 2 year lease, but what happens with the way investors own homes, they flip them, they turn them. So they know they're going to move again. They want to own their home. I say, well, then short sale is the route to go to resolve this issue. Get it resolved so that in 2 to 3 years, if not almost immediately, get into a new home and become a homeowner again. Because what better time is it to try to buy a property? Foreclosure is like going into cryo storage, like having your head frozen, and hopefully you're going to wake up in 5 to 7 years and there's a cure for your credit problem, okay? Whereas in a short sale, geologically speaking, you're still in 2 to 3 years buying a home in today's real estate market. Let's face it, we're not going to see any dramatic change in our real estate market to the plus for at least 2 to 3 years. That's when I want to be qualified to buy a home again. When I'm buying at a point where we're buying homes again like we did back in the late 80s to early 90 prices. So again, another reason why short sale is better. Put yourself in a position to take advantage of the market.
All right, Kevin, thank you very much.
Thank you, Dean.